All right, we are live here with another episode of the Teflon Tales. With me, I have a friend from India. So it's early for you. It's about 6 a.m. or slightly less than about 6 a.m. in India. So welcome to the show, Vishaka.
Thank you for having me, Ashwin.
So I'm going to read out again in the spirit of the Teflon Tales of people who just joining in for the first time. Teflon Tales is really showcasing amazing individuals who are leading a Teflon life. What is a Teflon life? Hey, you get hot quickly, cool down quickly, remain balanced, non-sticky, and flexible. I mean, talk about all those attributes that Bishaka walks the talk every day. But I'm going to read out just to kind of get the headline of why you're such a fit for the show. Is you're a cybersecurity management consultant at IBM. You're a lead at InfoSec Kids. You're a brand ambassador of Women in Cloud. You're a council rep at WICCI West Bengal. You're a founder of UKCSA India chapter. And just for background, you and I connected through Women in Cloud, thanks to Chandra Vedrupalli, who kindly invited me to that amazing forum that you are a brand ambassador to that. And when you and I talked for the first time last week, and I do this with guests that I'm meeting for the first time, and if I feel they're a fit for the show, I'll ask them the question, hey, you want to join the Teflon Tales? And yours was the fastest ever response. I think it was less than a nanosecond, and Vishaka said, yes, I'm in, right? So that's how we connected. So let's take a pause. I want to talk about something that you had mentioned last week, which I think we'll start off the journey over there, and I want to talk about where you are right now. You were at a prior employer, and you had come to steady state. Okay, you were doing a project, and it was well defined, but you were not learning anything. And at that point, you did something which I think is quite unusual, which is go and say, okay, this is not what I want to be doing. I want to be discovering more. I want to be learning more. And you actually went and talked to your manager about that. That is uncomfortable. That is unusual. But again, it reflects the Teflon Tales, which is, hey, you want to get hot in something else if this thing isn't hot enough for you. So talk a little bit about that episode and then give me a little bit of your background for the listeners.
Okay. So regarding the episode you talked about, yes, I did that thanks to my family who motivated me to do that, and also to my manager who understood that I wish to prosper in career and climb the ladder. I told him that I wish to be a manager someday too. I need to give my entrances and I'm not able to do it right at the moment. So it is not one person doing that. It is the collaboration of so many people coming forward to help those lending help, because of which we are who we are. And about me, you have already mentioned most of the thing. I work with IBM India, and I come from the tea city of India, which is Dibrugarh, Assam. And yes, that is most of the things about me has been already mentioned. I don't think I need a repetition.
Okay, so we're gonna dig a little deeper into that, right? And before you and I went live, you were talking about early on how you experimented even before you kind of got into cybersecurity, right? Hey, you had ambitions to go into the medical field, you want to be a journalist, and then you got into cyber, and then something stuck. So talk a little bit about that early Teflon journey, if you will, where you are trying different things. And I remember one word, serendipity, which was posted by Ludmila when you were given an award. We'll talk about that in a bit. But what was that early youth look like for you?
So when I was in the 10th standard, we have Assam Medical College in my city. So that is the dream of most of the students, good students here, that we will first prosper in studies and then we will go to medical and then we will become big doctors. Like we have grown up seeing so many good medical practitioners. So that was my aim too. I was no different. But somehow things did not work for me, and that's okay. And something that I am good at in life is moving on. That is an art which I can proudly say that I have manifested with years of experience. Now, it's okay to fail, but it's not okay to get stay stuck there. So moving on in something which I learned the hard way. So then I did my engineering in computer science. I never had computer science in my life because in Assam we have advanced mathematics, and I had biology in 12th. But I somehow got into computer science and engineering, and then in the fifth semester, it's an interesting story. So in the fifth semester, we had a computer network subject wherein I was playing cross and dot with my friend and I was caught. So the professor asked me the next day to teach the class the chapter he was teaching. And he and that left me with no choice but to study that subject. And that is the serendipity I was talking about. Life has always been serendipity for me. And then I actually like the subject. And my actually the entire engineering journey of mine revolved around computer networks because I learned Linux, I learned a couple of things in college. And then actually I did not get a campus placement, and I appeared for Ericsson off campus drive wherein so many students from across the country were there. And there I was grilled on my computer networks concept. So one little secret, since I taught the subject in the podium, there were many toppers from my batch who used to come to my room and to study this subject. So I was very confident that this is something which I don't even need the book to revise. And that time I was preparing for MBA, but as serendipity again had it, I got my first job at Ericsson. So after Ericsson, I thought that what I am doing, I should continue my journey there and there itself. So I chose to do MBA in cybersecurity from Symbiosis International University. My college name being Symbiosis Center for Information Technology, which is the best in the country for cyber practitioner and the biggest manufacturer of cyber practitioner management practitioners in the country. So I got there and I was very focused that I'll do my MBA there. Yes, regarding journalism. So as I told, I did not have a job after engineering, and I was good with my English writing skills and a little bit of maybe talking skills. So I thought, how about trying journalism? Because I will get to meet new people, explore places. So I have always been Vishaka the Explorer. Also, I have also been a intern at a travel blogging place, which I did not complete because life happened, job happened, studies happened, and a lot of things happened. But yes, I did try travel blogging also. So this,
yes, Abhishek, I want to ask you something before I forget, right? Because that you touched upon something which I think is super important, right? Which is the ability to move on. And again, if there's one thing that the whole Teflon teaches us, which is like, hey, you got to cool down, you got to remain detached, and you have to be able to move on. So talk about how that came about for you and how you are where you are right now, where you seem to kind of thrive in taking on new things and moving on if something doesn't work.
So there is a saying which goes "Biti bate bulai de, aage ki sudh lai." And I am someone who grew up on mythology and history. I used to love reading as a child. My parents made sure that I read the best books. And this wisdom is something which came through the books and a constant reminder by my daddy that live it, move on, and explore. Don't stop. Because the day you stop learning is the day you are dead. So I think with the passion of learning forever, moving on is easy. I know if one thing doesn't work out, second thing will. And as they say, one is none, but two is, right? Two has a big backup. So I always had a backup in life. So if plan A doesn't work, plan B will definitely.
So one of the things I quiz my guests on, because it is something that, again, which I've seen, myself included, lots of people get stymied because let's say you're good at one thing, right? And you've put your heart and soul into that and you've gotten good at it. And then you got to start something else, almost like turning on a new stove and you have a new Teflon pan and you will honestly suck at it, right? Just like I sucked at something new. I mean, podcasting I started, I don't know, 2 years ago. I was probably the worst podcaster on the planet. And so you have to deal with that inner critic. You have to deal with the judgmental world about, hey, you're really good at this, and like, what is this other thing that you're doing? So how do you maintain that balance of, okay, you're good at something, that's fine, but then you're starting something new and you have to start from scratch and it'll take time, and I'm okay with that dissonance, if you will.
So again, this is again the Indian in me speaking. I am someone who practices mindfulness, meditation, and yoga.
Hmm.
So I think mind, body, and soul, yoga protects all. And because I am able to channel my energy as to even if I have to start a new thing and I'm good at something already,
Hmm.
I don't take anything seriously in life, not even myself. So when success gets into your head, it is when you do not like moving on. You
Yeah.
think that you are in your comfort zone and you don't want to leave that comfort zone but the fun fact is the moment you leave your comfort zone is the moment where you start growing in life. And I think that is what is the most important thing about life, right? We all are here to grow and prosper. It's okay to fail. Who doesn't fail? And
Hmm.
but it's not okay to not try. You will live with regrets. And I don't believe in living with regrets.
Yeah, it's so true, right? I mean, one of my professors, he used to say, "Allow yourself the discomfort," right? Which is really what you're preaching, which is that you got to be gentle with yourself, but along with that kindness is giving yourself permission to be uncomfortable, because otherwise you get stuck. So part of one of your many different avatars is to actually help the community, right? And you're helping kids to understand cybersecurity. You're also helping seniors understand cybersecurity. So talk a little bit about how that came about and how that helps you be who you are.
So when I joined IBM, we had a community for women called WISE, which is Women in Security Excelling. So when WISE India chapter was there, I joined IBM just a year later, and therein we had industry mentors who wanted young girls to come in the forefront and do this, learn to give back to the society. So I have had amazing mentors from my organization who taught me the art of doing the same, and I started enjoying it. Actually, it's fun to be around kids. Who doesn't love to be around kids? And more than teaching them, I think you end up learning from them. The more kids you meet, the more curious you get, and the more learnings are there. So that is one thing. Regarding teaching my elders who want to get into cyber security, that is something I think it's my responsibility because I have been educated in the same. So people who are not technologically savvy, if I am able to give back to at least one person every day, I think my job is done and I am a happy soul. I can sleep well. So sleeping well is something which is very important to me. Although I have a pattern of sleeping, which I talked about.
We will come back to that. I just want to give a quick shout out to one of my previous guests, Faye Wu, who just joined the show. Faye is another amazing entrepreneur, and her journey is amazing. Hey, Faye, thanks for joining in and commenting. So again, coming back to that aspect of what you mentioned, which is the ability to give back, and I have this question for you, which is mentors and mentees. As I was doing research on you before getting on the show, I was amazed at the community you have built, right? Both on the mentorship side, and I know you have some really amazing mentors, but also you are a mentor for lots of other people, right? So again, question is, if somebody has not built that network, right, and they have been going single stream for a long time, and now one of the things that COVID has definitely taught us is, hey, industries are upended, and some of them are never going to come back. So how does somebody who is in this kind of niche, if you will, and is getting uncomfortable and they haven't built that network of mentors and mentees, what tips do you have? What advice do you have for them to start getting out of the shell and pushing themselves?
So again, another secret reveal. I was not somebody who used to be outspoken when I was in Wise, when I entered Wise. But I joined the first Cyber Day for kids as a photographer.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, because I was not someone who would take up the session for girls or for kids. But thanks to those mentors who saw the energy in me, they invited me to lead from front. And I have seen good leaders taking the back seat so that newcomers can uh, learn to lead from front. So, how to start? Start small, but do come out, do network if you get any opportunities. And with the pandemic, I think there are ample amount of opportunities there. Second thing is that you need to be vigilant as to what is going on around you. And the moment you see something that interests you, go ahead, ask people, how can I be a part of the same and help me out. I think most nobody wants you to fail. People are good people, but all you have to do is reach out. The moment you do that, I think most of the work is done, and then you have to go and explore what's going on. So please reach out. That is my message to everybody listening this.
Yeah, it's such a powerful thing also, right? Because it kind of, back to what you mentioned earlier, it forces yourself to come out of the comfort zone, right? And you're no longer kind of being held back by your title or your job. So I'm going to read something by one of your mentors, Dr. Mansoor Hasib, and I'm going to it's going to take a minute to read it, but I want to read because it's powerful, right? And he once told me that, and this is about you, that I should tell my story out loud and try conquering my fears instead of keeping quiet. Little did I know that the universe will conspire and send Ludmila to me to fuel his vision. I'm extremely humbled, touched, and grateful to both of you and also to my mentors in the esteemed cybersecurity industry that I belong to for your choices, support, and blessings. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. So this was a post you posted on LinkedIn 2 months ago. So going back to exactly what you said, right? How did Bishakha from, let's say, a year ago to get to where you are right now, to actually be publicly acknowledged by Ludmila, who acknowledges cybersecurity leaders across the planet, and you have been acknowledged with that. Again, that transformation is remarkable, right? Given where you're coming from, the ability to kind of get into cyber number one, but also push yourself, like you said, somebody who's like reticent and not very comfortable speaking, to now I look at you and say, hey, you can conquer the stage wherever you want. So how did that transformation come about, and then how does somebody go about mimicking you?
So I have just one answer. Mimicking me as in?
To learn from you, right? So what are so somebody, like, let's say if I was like you about 2 years ago, where you were not willing to come out of your shell, and here you are right now. It's like, okay, how can I what can I do, what did you do, so I can follow the same path?
So the key is practice. You need to invest time in what you want to become. You can become anything you think about. It is all about the law of attraction. You are the stories you tell yourself. The moment you tell yourself that you will be successful, I think there is no force on the universe that can stop you from being successful. So I was saying the wrong story to myself. And thanks to Dr. Mansoor Hasib, who crossed roads with me, and few mentors in the industry who taught me to believe in myself, is why I chose to practice it hard. Because if somebody so big, so renowned, and such a giving person, the person who has marketed cybersecurity for about 3 decades now, he believes in you. You got to believe in yourself. There is something that a person like him has seen in you. So you cannot fail your mentors. I think that would be the meanest thing or the wrongest thing you will do to yourself and to them. So I am someone who is born and brought up with values. So these are the values. I got it from my family, and I actually learned it the hard way, that you need to believe in yourself. I have had dark episodes also, which it was mentioned in Ludmila's story about bullying as a child. But then now I save girls from being bullied. I teach them how to not go about it. And I'm thankful to those bullies. Because of them, I got the purpose of my life. So a purpose driven life is something which will manifest everything you want to do. And regarding how to become so and so, you don't need to become anyone. You have to become your true self. Authenticity is something that will take you higher up in the ladder. You don't need to cheat anyone. You don't need to copy anyone. You just got to be yourself. How? You need to better yourself every day. My first YouTube video, I had so many fillers. Today, I do have fillers, but when you compare that video to this video, I can see the difference. Every next day there is a video of mine online. So that came out of practice. I learned it. So make sure that nobody is perfect. You got to learn till the end of your time. So this is enough. If you have manifested this wisdom, everything is possible and everything can be done.
You have packed so much into those 3 4 minutes of your answers. I'm going to unpack it a little bit. So number one, purpose driven life. I think that's so powerful, right? You don't have to mimic anybody else. You got to figure out what your purpose is. And yes, you can learn the tricks of the trade from others, but you have to be yourself, right? The other thing that you talked about over here, which I think is worth double clicking on, probably the last but one question is, something happened to you and you turn that into a learning opportunity, the bullying episode, but then now you're giving back and ensuring that other girls don't face the same thing. And you're actually, so that I think is so powerful, right? Which is learning for yourself, but also actively giving back. How does that help you, give you that energy to kind of keep pushing? As you learn, you also give back.
So this is something I've learned from my mentees. Every time I teach someone and that person becomes successful, like when I teach young girls and they end up saying that I want to be a cybersecurity expert too. This is something which gives me the adrenaline rush to do more. And this is something I would pray that never goes away from my life till the end of my time, because this is what keeps me motivated, and that I am happy. I think more than anything else, peace of mind is something which is important. The day a person understands that, I think that they will do anything they want to do. Because if you are not at peace with yourself, with your mind, and regarding giving back to the young girls, so I know the repercussions of being bullied, and I have wasted opportunities for a decade of my life. I came from two renowned colleges of India, but I was always a public speaker. But in both my colleges, you can go and verify, nobody has seen me on the podium. And in my school, nobody else, but only I was chosen, because I came from a Catholic school. So we had our farewells for sisters, and we had our farewells for teachers, we had our felicitations, we had debates, so many activities. But when somebody from my batch was chosen to speak, it was always me, undisputedly. Yet I was the same person who never spoke in her college life. So I don't want young girls to suffer that. It is as simple as that. And that is the purpose of my life. You have to be headstrong. I wasn't, because I don't know why, but I wasn't at that point in time. And we all learn from our mistakes, but you don't let that mistakes rule you, right?
Yeah.
You make people to rule that mistake. So that is the only purpose of my life.
Wow. Final question, right? And this goes back to the Teflon analogy, which is cooling down, right? And I was joking with you, right? Does Bishaka ever sleep? And so you mentioned something which we will touch upon in terms of how you keep cool. But again, through your learnings, how does somebody not burn themselves out, right? So literally with social media, with the giving back, with trying to push yourselves in your career and trying to kind of find your passion, it's easy to get burnt out. So again, what tips do you have?
So first tip, if you burn out, the quality will be compromised. So you never, it's good to be opportunist. Even I am an opportunist, but taking up an opportunity for compromising with on the cost of compromising your quality is not worth it. So rule one. Second rule, sleep enough. Because if you don't do that, your head doesn't work. How you sleep is all up to you, because I have a pattern. I don't sleep 8 hours straight, but I have a pattern of sleeping 2 hours in between. I make sure my 8 hours are complete. How, that only I know about.
Yeah.
So you have to plan everything. Then another thing is that spend time with your family, because this is a one time, the pandemic isn't for IT practitioners, wherein you will which I don't know when everything goes right will come or not, because me coming from the remotest corner of my country, I have been out of my house for 11 years. So this is the longest 11 months I have spent with my family, and which is important for your mind, body, soul, everything, because they are the first people who wants to see you prosper in life. So keep them close. Spend time with nature. I am someone who is a plant lover. So I call myself a plant mother. So I spend time with my greens. You might have pets, so you can enjoy time with them. So it's up to you. Have a journal. Then that is something. Practice gratitude. That keeps you full. You will never burn out in life when you will be grateful for small things in your life. Be grateful for the food you eat. Be grateful for everything you have in life, for a job in this testing time. So don't burn out. And yes, you do appreciate others, learn from others, but you don't want to be others. You
Yeah.
do not have to be anybody else. Be your own authentic self because you are unique. So this, when you make peace with it, you will never burn out in life. And please take it slow if need be, but never compromise on your quality. It's as simple as that. Nobody is perfect. We all need to practice, but for the sake of doing something, never do that.
Wow. Again, Vishal, a great conversation, and appreciate you again waking up early and joining LinkedIn Live. Good luck, and so glad our paths crossed, and let's keep in touch.
Yes.
All
Thank you
right.
for having me on the show.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.